Yo, what's going on, guys? So October 15th, hotfixes buffed 11 weapons and 7 grenades, something like that. Anyways, we're actually going to be going over the weapons. I am not like a Moe's player. I don't actually use grenades that much. So this video, we'll go over the grenades in a different video. Today, we're gonna be going over these weapon changes, 11 weapon changes, and actually some of these are god tier. So I'm gonna be listing them out for you guys, tier list style. And now with my webcam moved out of the way, we can get straight into it. Now, real quick, before we get into it, you guys have to know on the 20th and the 22nd, we are gonna be revealing the brand new skill trees on my Twitch channel live, twitch.tv/thickfillet_. Also, I will be uploading a couple YouTube videos those days. I believe it is Flack and Amara on the 20th, and then Moe's and Zane on the 22nd. So I'm really looking forward to the 22nd because that is Zane Day. I probably won't even go over Moe's. Maybe I'll make a video. But regardless, let's get into this video. Today, we're going to be talking about those 11 weapon hotfixes. Like I said, tier list style, and I'll get some gameplay for you guys in the background. So first things first, we have the Sleeping Giant. This thing got double the mag size. Reloading now has a 1 in 3 chance to award all the bonuses and increase the weapon damage bonus. So real quick, before we take this Sleeping Giant and put it into a spot, let me tell you guys how my tier list works. So 10 out of 10 are guns like the Mayhem 6 weapons, the DLC 3 weapons. This is the Monarch, the Plague Bearer, the Light Show, the Flipper, stuff like that. Weapons that absolutely dominate Mayhem 10. 7.5 though is my benchmark spot where I think this weapon is good enough to get through true Maliwan takedown. 7.5 is a pretty good rating for me. Anything below that is like but you know, anyways, we're not gonna go much below that. So the Sleeping Giant is actually a pretty cool weapon you can farm from One Punch Man. I'm gonna be rating this 7.5 out of 10. As you can see from the gameplay, you actually can shred with this if you get the right roll with it. However, you will have to build around this gun. So luckily, Terror is out right now. We have Terror ammo regen. If you can get a Terror ammo regen set up and basically get the correct reload and just keep firing the Sleeping Giant with all of the bonuses, then you're gonna be good to go. But otherwise, this is really just like a build around weapon. It's way closer to like a 6 out of 10 when you don't have the bonuses, but it feels like an 8.5 out of 10 when you do have all the bonuses. So we went ahead and went with the middle ground, the 7.5 out of 10. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about with the bonuses, every time you reload the Sleeping Giant, you essentially get a chance at different bonuses, and they buffed it so there's a 1 in 3 chance to get all the bonuses at once. So if your Sleeping Giant isn't doing a lot of damage, just reload it and fire it again and until you get that insane damage bonus. Now, next on the list is the Companion. This thing got a weapon damage buff, actually 166% weapon damage buff. And you can get this gun from Anointed X2 or Anointed X3. The Companion, the Anointed are located in the Anvil, I believe. Just run through the Anvil until you see some named Anointed enemies. Now the Companion, I'm actually going to be dropping in the 6 out of 10 slot. You can shred and kill some stuff in the Maliwan takedown, as you are seeing from the gameplay footage in the background, but it's not exceedingly powerful and it doesn't really stand out, especially when we have other guns on this list like the Craps, especially when you can get some other pistols in the game. The Companion is definitely not one of the better Jacobs pistols either. Even the Flood on the list coming in later is much stronger. So since I didn't like the Companion too much, let's just go ahead and move on to the Red Line. This thing got increased weapon damage and reduced recoil. Now this thing actually got 200% bonus damage, and the reduced recoil is a lot more than you would think. I am actually putting this up at 8 out of 10. Every single enemy I shot this at was dead almost immediately. Now, I do have to say that this thing also shreds through ammo, okay? It doesn't just shred through enemies, it also shreds through ammo. But with that being said, I think this is a bossing weapon for Moe's and some for the road, and you will definitely kill bosses with this thing. Otherwise, you can just use it for mobbing on a Terror ammo regen build or a Moe's build. Just keep in mind, this thing uses a lot of ammo, but it will get the job done. What I really just love about this gun is it's one of the only fully auto shotguns, especially that it's a Torg sticky shotgun. It is just such a cool weapon. I really recommend going to check this out. You can go ahead and farm this from Road Dog, who is located on Pandora. Now next, let's go ahead and move on to the Garcia. Now this is a Jacobs shotgun, and the Garcia is actually pretty powerful. However, it's gonna land at about 7 out of 10. Now this is slightly below average of our 7.5 out of 10. The issue with this gun is the fire rate on it. It used to feel like every other Jacobs weapon where it was as much as you could pull the trigger, it would shoot that fast, and it has a fat mag. But the thing about it right now is for some reason it's shooting in 2 bursts. I don't know if this is a bug. I don't know if this is intended, but as it sits right now, this is a 7 out of 10 based on the fire rate. If they fix the fire rate, I would easily put this up to 8 out of 10. The power of the shotgun is there, but the fire rate really drags it down a lot in my opinion. It feels really clunky to use, and it's another gun that uses a ton of ammo. So I think 7 out of 10 is a really good spot in my opinion. Like I said, you can go ahead and farm this gun from Chonk Stomp, who is in the Floodmore Basin on Eden 6. I hope it's the Floodmore Basin. But yeah, this gun used to be a powerhouse in old Mayhem 4. When they first buffed it, you used to be able to fire this, like it felt like a fully automatic shotgun, but it just doesn't have that feel anymore, and I don't know what happened. Now let's go ahead and move on to the Flood. Now the Flood feels much better than the Companion. The Flood is actually shredding through the Malawan takedown once again. I am gonna put this one actually at 8 out of 10. Now 8 out of 10 is slightly above average. It's not a 10 out of 10 weapon, but if you want to pick this thing up and use it for end game content, you sure as hell can. This thing is definitely shredding. Once again, you know, kind of like all the other weapons we've gone over so far, it does also shred through ammo, but the Flood feels really good, and it definitely was killing enemies very, very well, as you can see from the gameplay footage in the background. Now, even though it does shred through ammo, it is a pistol, and you do have tons and tons of pistol ammo, so you pretty much can use this however much you want. You don't really have to worry about running out. Now, you can actually farm the Flood from an enemy called Lagromar, and I actually have no clue where this enemy is. I've never fought him before. Every Flood I've ever found was a world drop, so yeah, you're gonna have to go ahead and look up Lagromar. That's just what the loot spreadsheet said, but regardless, definitely give this gun a try. If you like Jacobs pistols, you will like the Flood. And even on my class mod and the gameplay footage right now, I'm not using Jacobs weapon crit. I'm pretty sure I just have pistol damage on my class mod. So yeah, check this gun out for sure. Moving on, let's go ahead and go over the Polybius. Now the Polybius is a Tediore shotgun, and it's felt pretty useless throughout the years. Right now, I would say it's somewhere between 6 and 7 out of 10. I think I'm gonna put it down to 6 out of 10. The Polybius, they actually did buff it pretty well compared to what it used to be. However, it does not really feel super powerful. It doesn't feel like I should pick this gun up over any other Tediore shotgun. And what's weird about it is right now it seems like the Polybius does more damage when you shoot it versus when you chuck it. And at least for me, when it comes to Tediores, you feel like you want the chuck to do something special rather than the shot. But the Polybius just does not pack that punch, especially when it comes to the chucks. Now, for those of you who do like what you see in the gameplay footage, you can farm this gun from Genevieve. She's on Eden 6. A lot of you guys should know where to find her. Now, moving on, let's go over the Infinity Pistol. Now, the Infinity Pistol got a weapon damage buff, 71% to be exact. The Infinity Pistol is pretty cool. I'm actually putting it at about a 7 out of 10. The Infinity Pistol feels pretty decent right now. Obviously, it's not a top tier weapon, and obviously 7 out of 10 is slightly below 7.5 out of 10, and I told you guys 7.5 out of 10 is my average. 7.5 out of 10, I am comfortable using that gun pretty much. Like, if a gun is 7.5 or higher for me, I will use it in endgame content. But the Infinity is just falls a little bit too short. Now, you can use it to get through the Malawan takedown, and I actually do think if I had a better element combination than what I'm showing in the gameplay footage, maybe we could get through shield and health bars a little bit quicker. I'm using a Shock Infinity with URAD, so that's really heavy towards shields and not really, you know, we're not doing much damage against health bars. Pretty neutral damage. You know, we could have a better element combination in my opinion, but from what I've tested with it, I think it's about a 7 out of 10. And, you know, that's pretty cool compared to what the Infinity used to be, because like you guys are watching, this is getting through true Malawan takedown, so, you know, not bad. Next, we're gonna go over one of my favorite Tediore shotguns, actually, the Horizon. Now the Horizon was a gun I used so long ago, and then a member of my community named P-Zubs had me try it again, actually pretty recently. I posted a TDR Hitman Zane build that was doing Mayhem 10 content with the Horizon shotgun, and they went ahead and buffed it. So this thing got a 66% buff. I am actually gonna put the Horizon at 7.5 out of 10. Even though I'm talking it up, it is just an average weapon for Mayhem 10. You're definitely gonna wanna get a good element. Mine was shock, so it can only get through shields, and I had the 390 anointment. So once we got through their shields and got to their health bar, it wasn't doing as much damage as it could have anymore because, yeah, just the anointment combination with the element we're using in the gameplay footage. It's really just bursting through shields and not really going to get through health bars that much. So get a better element combination. Use your 300 over 90 anointments. The Horizon shotgun is very cool and very fun. When you throw it, you can actually shoot it to create a singularity, which sucks all the enemies in and then creates a large explosion. Also, I noticed that if you just straight up chuck this gun, this is the fastest reloading TDR I think I've ever thrown. I'm sure maybe you could throw like a TDR pistol a little bit faster, but this thing has some quick reload speed. So that is one thing I noticed while using it. And yeah, let me tell you guys where to get this. You can actually get this from Max a Trillion. He's a named enemy and he's actually in a room right near Genevieve. So go to the spawn right before the Genevieve boss fight and work your way backwards. He's like 5 seconds from Genevieve, maybe 15 seconds. He's in a little room and he's a robot who has, he spins his hands and he deflects bullets back at you. Try this shotgun out. You know, I put it at 7.5 out of 10 because it's a build around weapon, but if you really build into TDR chucking, grenade damage, splash damage, stuff like that, I think you can get a lot out of this shotgun. It can even probably feel like an 8 out of 10 when it comes to damage. Now let's go ahead and move on to the Destructo Spinner. This thing got 100% bonus weapon damage in the buff. The Destructo Spinner you can get from the Power Troopers. I'm dropping this at a 6 out of 10. Now, you guys might notice that our 10 and 9 slot are empty, but we saved the best two for last. So let's go ahead and cover the Destructo Spinner real quick before we get to the last two. The Destructo Spinner, it could do some work, but it didn't feel overly powerful. Once again, maybe if I had a better element combination, it could have felt a little bit better. You guys can see it's actually doing some work. In the Maliwan takedown, it's not awful, but it just doesn't feel special at all. And we all like our guns to feel special in Mayhem 10. Regardless, it doesn't really matter. This gun was always a novelty. You know, I never expected this gun to do endgame content, and here it is, like doing some okay work at the Maliwan takedown. So I'm happy with the buff. Now moving on, we have our last two weapons, the Skull Masher and the Craps. Let's go ahead and talk about the Skull Masher. This thing got 50% increased weapon damage, and then it got a accuracy and a recoil buff. So the Skull Masher, as you guys can see from the gameplay footage in the background, I really want to put this at 10 out of 10. This thing is hitting hard. I am killing every single enemy in 1 to 2 shots. Put this thing on a flak, I guarantee you'll one-shot anything in the Maliwan takedown. Put this on Amara, you'll do the same thing with Ties That Bind. If I had a 9.5, I think I would put it at 9.5. You know, this weapon cannot clear nearly as fast as a Monarch or Plague Bearer. I think I might drop it down to 9 now that I'm talking about it a little bit more, but I would genuinely put this at 9.5 out of 10. This is probably one of the strongest snipers in the game right now. This thing is absolutely shredding. I'm also going to include a pretty sick clip where we shot an enemy near the Kraken, and I don't know if it was Hollow Point or if it was the ricochets to the Kraken, but we literally one-shot the entire Kraken with a U-Rad Skull Masher. I wasn't even using Sentinel Cryo, which is strong against the Kraken. I was using U-Rad, which is weak against armor. And this thing one-tapped the Kraken off of a Jacob's Ricochet. It might have been a little bit of Hollow Point too, if I'm being honest. But this thing is putting in work at true Maliwan takedown Mayhem 10. Check this out. You can go ahead and farm the Skull Masher from Ista, and you can get it from chests in DLC 2 anyways. Go ahead and check out the Skull Masher. You guys won't be disappointed at all. Finally, we're gonna go over the Craps. This thing got 120% increased weapon damage. Now the craps, I'm gonna go ahead and put it at 9 out of 10. I don't think this is quite a 10 out of 10. This is very similar to the new weapon from DLC 4, except this one came in the handsome Jackpot. Now you can go ahead and farm the craps from the end boss Jackpot himself. The craps is an awesome Torgue pistol. It's a sticky pistol as well. A lot of Moze players love using this in impact mode, but as a Zane player, I love sticking up an enemy, freezing them with my icebreaker, and then reloading for bonus explosive and icebreaker damage combined. The craps was one of my favorite pistols when DLC 1 came out, and I'm so happy they buffed it again. This thing is doing work. You'll be able to kill mobs, bosses, pretty much whatever you want with the craps. Now, it's probably not the best bossing gun ever, but you can definitely use it to kill some bosses. And I'll include a clip of the Kraken, just like the Skull Masher. I believe we one-magged the Kraken, maybe just a couple more shots off of a one-mag, but definitely check this gun out. Basically, the special effect of this gun is occasionally one of the bullets splits into 5. Hot tip, if you're using Zane or Flak, you can use Playing Dirty or Two Fang. Bonus projectiles will double the effect. So you know how I said it splits into 5? If you have Playing Dirty active, it'll split into 10. And same goes for Two Fang. So the Craps is a very, very powerful Torgue pistol that I definitely recommend checking out. Like I said, you can go ahead and farm it from Jackpot, who's at the end of DLC 1. He's the final boss. Go check it out. But anyways, guys, that is it for my tier list. That's what I thought about the weapon buffs. Now, I went ahead and tiered these just in general. This is not like a before and after. This is what I think about these guns right now in Mayhem 10. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel for more Borderlands 3 videos. Let me know what you guys think about all these weapon buffs in the comment section down below. But that's gonna be it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.